contract. Let us begin with the most basic example. It is any. If you do not understand everything right now, we will go into more. Chapter 7 Contents Keyword Index. Search page 7.1 Introduction to Smart Contracts 7th January 2001 A simple smart contract. Let us begin with the most basic example. It is any. If you do not understand everything right now, we will go into more detail later. Storage Pragma Solidity 0.4.0 Contract Simplistage uint stored data Function set uint kiss smiley public stored data is equal to x Function get public view returns uint return stored data First line simply tells that source codis written for Solidity version 0.4.0 or anything new it does not break functionality up to, but not including, version 0.5.0. This is to ensure that the contract does not suddenly behave differently with a new compiler version. The keyword pragma is called that way because, in general, pragmas are instructions for the compiler about how to treat the source code, e.g. pragma 1's 15. Solidity documentation, release 0.4.24 A contract in the sense of Solidity is a collection of code, its functions, and data, its state, that resides at a specific address on the Ethereum blockchain. The line uint stored data declares a state variable called stored data of type uint, unsigned integer of 256 bits. You can think of it as a single slot in a database that can be queried and altered by calling functions of the code that manages the database. In the case of Ethereum, this is always the owning contract. And in this case, the functions set and get can be used to modify or retrieve the value of the variable. To access a state variable, you do not need the prex this, as is common in other languages. This contract does not do much yet, due to the infrastructure built by Ethereum, apart from allowing anyone to store a single number that is accessible by anyone in the world without a feasible way to prevent you from publishing this number. Of course, any neko just calls again with a different value and overwrite a number, but a number will still be stored in the history of the blockchain. Later, we will see how you can impose access restrictions so that only you can alter the number. Note, all identifiers, contract names, function names and variable names are restricted to the ASCII character set. It is possible to store UTF-8 encoded data in string variables. Warning, be careful with using Unicode texts similarly looking, array identical, characters can have a different code points and as such will be encoded as a different byte array. Subcurrency example. The following contract will implement the simplest form of a cryptocurrency. It is possible to generate coins out of thin air, but only the person that created the contract will be able to do that. It is trivial to implement a different issuance scheme. Furthermore, anyone can send coins to each other without any need for registering with username and password. All you need is an Ethereum key pair. Pragma Solidity 0.4.21 Contract coin. The keyword public makes those variables readable from outside address. Public minter mapping address is equal to uint public balances. Events allow light clients to react on changes efficiently. Event sent address from address to uint amount. This is the constructor whose code is run only when the contract is created. Function coin public minter is equal to msg.sender. Function mint address receiver uint amount public if msg.sender is equal to minter